Welcome all of you in SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Today we are going to learn a topic from Business Communication subject. Our today's topic is Concept of Communication and Methods of Communication, which comes under Theory of Communication. So let's start with communication and its process. See, what is communication? Communication is the art of transmitting information, ideas and attitudes from one person to another. Communication is the process of meaningful interaction among human beings. See, this word communication is derived from the Latin word communicare or communis, which means to make common or to impart. See, whenever we do communication, we exchange our thoughts, our ideas, our feelings with other person. So for communication process, two persons are required. One is sender and another is receiver. Communication is a personal process and it occurs between people and it involves change in behavior. And it is a means to influence others. It is expression of thoughts and emotions through words and actions, as well as it is a tool for controlling and motivating people. It is a social and emotional process. Now let's see features of communication. Communication is a two-way process. Means, as I told you that for communication, two people are required. One is sender and another is receiver. So communication is a two-way process. The message goes from sender to the receiver. Receiver understands the message and gives the feedback to the sender. So that's why it is called as a two-way process. Information sharing and understanding. In communication, what we do, we share information and we understand the information. Communication takes place verbally as well as it is non-verbal also. And circular flow. Circular flow, why? Because it goes from sender to receiver and again from receiver to sender. So it completes a circle. That's why it is called as a circular flow. It is goal oriented. See, whenever we do communication, we are having some objective in our mind, and to fulfill that objective, we communicate. It is a continuous process. Communication never stops. It is a continuous process. It goes on always. Now let's see this chart, the communication process. This chart will tell you how the process of communication takes place. See, here in this chart, you can see some elements of communication. See, the first element is sender. Communication begins when sender desires to communicate something. He frames one message. That process of framing the message is called as encoding. Then selects the channel and then the message goes to the receiver. Receiver interprets the message. So when the receiver interprets the message, it is called as decoding. And after interpreting the message, understanding the message, receiver gives feedback to the sender. This is the communication process, or it is called as communication cycle. Now let's learn about methods of communication. Communication is having two methods, verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So what is verbal communication? Let's learn about it. Verbal communication. Verbal communication means communication through spoken and written words. It implies use of words which makes language. It is the ability to communicate by using words. Means whenever we communicate using words, that is called as verbal communication. Again, verbal communication is having two types. One is oral communication and other is written communication. So let's learn about oral communication. Now what is oral communication? Oral communication implies communication through mouth. It includes individuals conversing with each other, be it direct conversation or telephonic conversation. Now what are the advantages of oral communication? The first advantage is immediate feedback. We get immediate feedback or we get instant feedback when we do oral communication. Oral communication is time saving because whatever sender wants to convey, the receiver understand and give the feedback at the same time. That's why it is time consuming. It is economical. It doesn't require much money. It is having personal touch because oral communication may be face to face. So we can observe the body language of the sender, and on telephone we get the instant reply also. Secrecy is maintained through oral communication, and we can do group communication also. So these are the advantages of oral communication, but still there are few disadvantages also. Poor retention means we can't remember the entire message which is said by the sender. So poor retention is the disadvantage. No records. Oral communication doesn't have any records. It is time consuming. Sometimes if other subjects are discussed rather than the subject which is to be discussed, so it consumes the time. Sometimes a receiver doesn't understand properly what the sender wants to convey the message, so misunderstanding may happen. Unsuitable for lengthy messages. Oral communication is not suitable for lengthy messages, and it lacks responsibility. These are the disadvantages of oral communication. See, what are the forms of oral communication? See, we can do oral communication in face-to-face situations, in interviews, in telephone conversations, in meetings, lectures, speech, presentations, even conferences, seminars, workshops. These are the forms of oral communication. Now, the another type of verbal communication, that is written communication. Now, what is written communication? A medium for communication that entails the written word. Letters, emails, and manuals are forms of written communication. Now let's understand the advantages of written communication. See, written communication is having wide access, means at a time we can reach to lots of people, because just we have to draft one letter, one message, and we can send it to many people at a time. So it is having wide access. Then accuracy, because whenever we write and before sending we check it, we correct it. That's why written communication becomes accurate. Lengthy messages can be sent with the help of written communication, and receiver can again read and reread the messages if the receiver doesn't understand the messages. And written communication is having permanent record, as well as it is accepted legally. It is having legal evidence, and it fixes the responsibility. That's why this is the advantage of written communication, and it is convenient for all also. Now let's understand about disadvantages of written communication. It is time consuming, because written communication requires a lot of time. You have to write properly, you have to correct it, check it, so it requires a lot of time. So that's why it is time consuming, and it is costly also. Sometimes it lacks secrecy, because if any written document which is very important, which is having some secret message and which goes in the wrong hands, so it lacks a secrecy, a rigidity. It is not flexible as oral communication is flexible. Impersonal, so personal touch is not there like in oral communication. Delayed feedback, because if the sender sends some written message to the receiver, and if the receiver also sends in the message through written communication, so feedback may be delayed. These are the disadvantages of written communication. These are the forms of written communication: email, letters, reports, notices, minutes, circulars, manuals, handbooks, orders, inquiries, complaints, quotations, others like sales contracts, newsletters, bulletin board notices, etc. So we have seen verbal communication. Now another method, that is non-verbal communication. So what is non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication is indirect, without using words or without verbal messages. So these are the types of non-verbal communication, which includes body language, auditory signals, and visual. So let's understand what is body language. There are 5 types of body language: eye contact, facial expression, gestures, postures, space relationship. Means we can communicate without using words with the help of body language. See, eye contact. Whenever we communicate with our audience, we should have proper eye contact with our audience. Even we can pass on many messages through our eyes. It is said that eyes never tells lies. So we should have proper eye contact. Eye contact shows your confidence, that you are confident enough whatever you are saying with it confidently. Facial expression. See, from face we come to know the feelings and emotions of a person. See, on this slide you can see different facial expressions, whether the person is happy, sad, angry. The lots of emotions we come to know from facial expressions. Means without saying a word, we understand the message, we understand the emotion of the person. These are the facial expression, different facial expressions you can see on the screen. Gestures. Gestures means body movements. These are different gestures. We communicate with gestures also. Without using words, we pass the message to the receiver. Then postures. Posture means position of body. How we stand. It also conveys the message to the receiver. On the screen, you can see different postures. See, for example, hands in pocket. It shows aggression. Hands on hips. It shows that you are aggressive. And you can also see one picture on the screen which shows achiever stance. Proxemics means how much space we should maintain when we are communicating with each other in face-to-face situation. It also conveys the message. These are the different measurements, that how much space is required to be maintained, that is intimate touching, personal, close, social and public. Then with the help of auditory signals, we communicate our message. For example, factory sirens. When the factory sirens rings, the workers come to know the end of the shift or the beginning of the shift. School bell. We come to know whether the school lectures are starting or the school lecture ends there. Traffic policeman's whistle. So with this auditory signals, sender communicates the message to the receiver. As well as we can communicate with the help of visuals. Visuals means different signs and symbols, posters, colors, charts, maps and graphs, by which we can come to know about different messages. So this is all about non-verbal communication. So in today's session, we learned about theory of communication. In this we learned about concept of communication and methods of communication. So thank you all of you.